Did you see me on The View Tuesday afternoon? Did you see when they said, we don't believe there's a Trump mandate? I said, oh, really? Did you see the former press secretary for the White House come on? I think Stephen A. is wrong. I don't believe what he said is correct. Donald Trump has the lowest approval ratings in the first month or so, or the 2 months of a presidency in American history. Oh, really? But didn't he win all the swing states? Didn't his popularity elevate within 89% of the counties in the United States of America? And then you got folks like Candace Owens, who's a Trump supporter, along with various others with their microphones, their cameras, and their audience. If you think the liberals are overcoming that, you go ahead and watch Schumer and those 21 other senators talk their drivel. J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio or somebody will be the next president in 2028. You'll have nobody but yourselves to blame. As if it is an edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. I ain't got time to talk about this anymore.
Stephen A. Smith is going after the Democratic National Committee for what he describes as staged and fake outrage, and his remarks are turning heads. The outspoken sports host and political voice didn't hold back as he criticized figures like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi for spreading fear about Donald Trump. All the key clips are right here. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and let's dive in.
Democrats today have gone out of their way to post messages on social media about the current Trump administration and what's happening to American lives. The problem is they're all literally saying the same damn thing. Don't believe me? Check it out.
I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
That ain't true. That's what you just heard. Since day one of Donald Trump's presidency, prices are not down, they're up. Inflation is getting worse. Not better. The prices of grocery, gas, housing, essentials.
Now you see why Stephen A. Smith was in the polls as a presidential candidate? You see what I'm talking about? You see that idiocy right there? You talk about something, people being tone deaf.
Stephen A. started by calling out Democratic senators for being completely out of touch with everyday Americans. He said their speeches sound mechanical and scripted, as if they're reading from cue cards instead of speaking honestly. According to him, party leaders keep repeating the same arguments about inflation, the economy, and immigration without offering real answers. Instead of speaking openly, they depend on predictable outrage. This makes their message feel forced, outdated, and disconnected. As a result, many voters are losing interest because they feel talked at rather than listened to.
Why the hell would 22 Democratic senators be literally echoing the same thing and think that would resonate with the American people? All it shows is that the same fabric of our democracy is unchanging in the eyes of some of these officials, and as a result, the constituency they represent, which is why Donald Trump is in office. What, do I have to come up to Capitol Hill and give you lessons? Seriously, you don't get it? Oh, you did. Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker, Chuck Schumer. Let's all get together. Let's put this in a prompter, and all together, albeit in separate rooms, we'll grab a microphone and say the same damn thing. And that's what's going to resonate with the American people. And then you wonder why you're no longer in power.
Stephen A. pointed out that Democrats are repeating the same mistakes that helped Donald Trump rise to power. Rather than changing their approach, they continue using failed strategies. He said Trump succeeded because he knew how to communicate with ordinary people. His words were simple, emotional, and easy to follow. Whether people supported him or not, they always understood his message. Trump sounded like a regular person instead of a polished politician, which helped him connect with voters from every background.
Chuck Schumer and the typical politicians, inflation is high. Oh, look at them pointing the fingers at the migrants. Oh, look at them blaming immigration. They don't care about you. Oh, by the way, look, they don't care about this. Well, why would you bother people from the LGBTQ community? Would you bother folks with transgender and all this? Why would you do that? That is what the Democrats say. That's what most politicians would say. Here's Trump. They're pieces of shit. They don't give a about you. It's rigged. They've hoodwinked you all the time. They think you're a freaking joke. They give you the anytime they want to. Here's Trump. Them. They ain't worth shit.
He argues that Trump speaks with real passion and emotional intensity that strongly connects with his audience. Unlike traditional politicians, Trump doesn't sound overly rehearsed. His confidence, energy, and bold personality attract supporters. Stephen A. believes this natural style sets Trump apart. Even when Trump makes mistakes, he often admits them instead of hiding. That honesty makes him feel genuine to his followers. According to Stephen A., this emotional connection keeps Trump's base loyal, not complex policies or technical language.
And do you know what his followers say? Yeah! Yeah! That's how we want you talking to those politicians who've been stealing our money all of these years. It's not what he says. It's how he says it. He does it with vitriol and venom to show a disrespect to politicians who the public have no respect for because they feel they've been hoodwinked by those same politicians. He's using it to separate himself from the cesspool that is Capitol Hill. And how does Capitol Hill respond? By showing them they're still Capitol Hill.
Stephen A. explains that MAGA supporters remain devoted because Trump openly criticizes the same groups they distrust. He doesn't try to appear neutral or politically correct. Instead, he directly attacks elites, media figures, and powerful insiders. Many Americans see these groups as dishonest and corrupt. Trump voices that frustration without hesitation. By doing so, he strengthens his bond with supporters. Stephen A. says this loyalty is built on shared anger, disappointment, and distrust of the establishment, not just political beliefs.
Did you see me on The View Tuesday afternoon? Did you see when they said, we don't believe there's a Trump mandate? I said, oh, really? Did you see the former press secretary for the White House come on? I think Stephen A. is wrong. I don't believe what he said is correct. Donald Trump has the lowest approval ratings in the first month or so, or 2 months of a presidency in American history. Oh, really? But didn't he win all the swing states? Didn't his popularity elevate within 89% of the counties in the United States of America? Didn't his popularity elevate within the Black community, the Hispanic community, and the young voters?
Stephen A. also challenges those who claim Trump's popularity is declining. He says the facts prove otherwise. Large crowds, strong online engagement, rising polls, and passionate supporters show Trump's influence is still strong. Yet he criticizes Democrats for ignoring these signs. Instead, they depend on friendly media and partisan experts who reinforce their views. This creates an echo chamber. Stephen A. warns that refusing to accept reality only empowers Trump and leaves party leaders disconnected from public opinion.
Didn't he win the popular vote for the first time in 20 years as a Republican nominee? Didn't he also win the Electoral College vote? Isn't he in control of the White House? Don't the Republicans have the House and the Senate? All of that happened, but there's no Trump mandate. You see is it? Or is it just that the Democrats are so damn lost that they're actually going to convince themselves they can do the same old and still regain power, both in the midterms and in the 2028 election?
According to Stephen A., Democrats believe they can win by constantly attacking Trump. They focus on criticizing his character and dismissing his achievements instead of strengthening their own message. He says this strategy is flawed. Constant criticism makes Trump look like a victim of political attacks. Meanwhile, Voters want leadership, results, and honesty. By obsessing over Trump, Democrats appear distracted. Stephen A. says repeating failed methods while expecting success is not strategy. It is denial.
I'm here to tell you that's not going to happen. Because Trump has the power now. And he's manipulating the proceedings. And in case you didn't notice, one of his top boys, Elon Musk, Doge, owns X. Who else was at the inauguration? Jeff Bezos. The man running TikTok. And Lord knows who else.
Stephen A. also points out how Trump gained support from unexpected groups, including tech leaders and online influencers. Many people in Silicon Valley and digital media usually avoid politics, yet they found Trump appealing. Influential voices like Joe Rogan and Candace Owens help spread his message to massive audiences. These platforms reach people who distrust mainstream news. Stephen A. says this new media environment is reshaping politics, and Democrats continue to underestimate its power.
And then you got folks like Candace Owens, who's a Trump supporter, along with various others with their microphones, their cameras, and their audience. If you think the liberals are overcoming that, you go ahead and watch Schumer and those 21 other senators talk their drivel. J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio or somebody will be the next president in 2028. You'll have nobody but yourselves to blame. As if it is edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. I ain't got time to talk about this anymore.
Stephen A. delivers a strong warning. If Democrats fail to change course, they risk losing not only to Trump but to other Republican candidates as well. He says the real issue isn't the opposition. It's their refusal to admit mistakes. Voter frustration is growing, and without serious reform, Republicans will benefit. He believes elections are often lost because parties ignore their own weaknesses. Until Democrats face this truth, defeat remains likely.
News doesn't get any better in terms of how much they spent to win. The Harris campaign reportedly paid Al Sharpton's nonprofit organization $500,000 prior to the vice president's sit-down with a civil rights activist and an MSNBC host. According to records from the Federal Election Commission, the Harris-Walz campaign made two separate donations of $250,000 to Sharpton's group on September 5th and October 1st. Harris sat down with Sharpton for an MSNBC interview that aired on October 20th, nearly 3 weeks after the donations from her campaign to the National Action Network took place.
In closing, Stephen A.'s message is clear and troubling for Democrats. Politics is no longer driven by scripted speeches and controlled media stories. Voters want honesty, passion, and real leadership. Trump's strength comes from his emotional connection and willingness to challenge powerful institutions. Ignoring this reality only repeats past failures. Attacking opponents without offering solutions increases resentment. Stephen A. believes future elections will be decided by who understands public sentiment. Without change, Democrats may once again face unexpected defeat. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video.